It's been a few days since we said bye. Still no news about... If only he was gone for good. But...
Hello! You must be the traveler in Paimon? Mr. Flint has been looking for you. Unfortunately, there's been a...
The Wild Hunt? Oh, uh-oh! Come on, let's go!
Care for a dance?
One with nature. Busted. Gotcha.
Dance with it! At least, you were here to watch.
I can barely sense any Kuvaki at all. This
looks like his appetite truly is insatiable.
He's not seriously still getting strong.
Everyone's here already!
We've all been on high alert since we split up a few days back, expecting Rerir to strike, but it's like he just vanished into thin air. That is, until this morning, when a ratnik found signs of wild hunt activity while out here on patrol. As you can see, the Crystonite itself...
And we're sure that... Who else? He's the only one who could pull off a stunt like this.
Kuvaki loss has reached critical levels. Reikir of Solnari set to maximum threat level. Warning, unless de-escalation measures are taken soon, he will pose a
There wasn't a shred of sanity left. Nothing but...
Yeah, didn't he shout out a bunch of names? Oh, Paimon gets chills just thinking about it. Oh.
Last time we fought, we were already at a disadvantage.
Yeah, if I were him and I wanted more Kuvaki, I'd just take it by force. No point staying in the shadows. Unless something went wrong. His whole resurrection thing didn't exactly go smoothly.
The other thing is, how does someone who's completely lost their mind still...
Beats me.
According to certain medical studies, insanity does not always entail a complete loss of rationality.
That actually sounds about right.
There are many unanswered questions here. Besides his name and title, we know little about him.
Exactly. And we wouldn't even know where to begin looking. I'd be willing to bet that even if we gathered together every scrap of intel in Nodcry, we still wouldn't find more than, like, 3 useful facts about him.
So, if we do nothing, last time we had Marionette and her big robo-buddy to help us. And we still barely... Paimon's head hurts just thinking about it!
Well, I do have a little hunch about his next move. Given that he attacked the quarry, somewhere like the Eye of Craddy, or the Pillar of Embla.
A perfectly reasonable hypothesis. However, it is worth noting that these 2 locations are quite far apart.
I agree, we should split up. Right now, Rarir's...
Wait, why Hisi Island?
If I recall correctly, your largest goddess statue was carved from Kuvaki-rich ore, was it not?
That's right. Yes, it could well be a potential target if...
Splitting up's always gonna be risky. But... And if we do run into...
That's when you follow the 3rd rule of treasure hunting.
Didn't you say the...
I don't know. Did I? Anyway, whatever. In this situation, go with the flow means go find backup.
Agreed. If anyone finds so much as a trace of Rarir, do not pursue him. Get out of the area and alert the rest of us as soon as possible. We need to put safety first.
All right, we'd better get moving. Come on, Anefa, let's go!
Overruled.
Any leads?
Nope. Diddly squat. It feels like we're sitting on a powder keg that could go off at any second. Oh.
So, you guys didn't find anything?
Not loving the word.
I questioned a few Ratniki and eventually narrowed my investigation down to one suspicious individual, almost as if he knew someone was on to him. Either
He's been biding his time for a while now. The question is, where or what is his next target?
no idea. Since regaining his body, he seems to have lost all interest in the fragment in my possession. If he did still want it, he's had plenty of chances to take it.
All we can do now is hope that Aino and Anefa turn up some leads. Darn it, Rarir. If you've got the guts, come face me! Wait, he's actually here? I didn't...
No. Silver Moon Hall! The Lady Kutar might be in danger!
Let's get over there, quick! Why is he attacking the damsel elect? What's going on?
No time for questions. Stop him!
This is insane.
Yehuda, get Kutar out of here!
On it.
Look where your feeble light has gotten you. Now, you shall plunge into darkness. Felindus, soon, I will find a way.
Watch out!
Find them. Even if it means turning this place to ashes.
That was too close! Oh, we barely made it out of there alive! What's that guy's deal? How'd he get so crazy strong?
He's a threat to this entire nation. I doubt his strength could even be measured by conventional standards.
I have a question. When me and Anefa showed up, we saw him chasing after this lady like he wanted her dead. What was that all about?
We weren't there for the whole thing either. They were already duking it out by the time we arrived.
Yeah, we didn't see how it all started.
Kutar, can you shed any light on the situation?
Kutar. Cross-checking database. I see. So you're the one that the Frost Moon Scions refer to as the Moon Goddess?
Wait, she's the moon goddess? Oh, no wonder she
There are many reasons why people might worship the moon. And just as many why they might despise it. I've never met that person before. But there was no mistaking his deep-seated hostility towards me. Why he holds me in such contempt, I cannot say. But since he hunts the power of the moon, it's no surprise that I am a target.
Kutar.
There are many potential motives. For instance, you help the traveler escape his grasp. It is also possible that he covets the Kuvaki inside you. But right now, devising a counter-strategy should be our #1 priority. The likelihood of this location being discovered is close to...
A counter strategy? But we don't stand a chance against an enemy. Surely our only option is to... No, I can't say that.
Running is our only option.
Huh?
You seem surprised. But what other choice do we have? We are facing an enemy we cannot possibly defeat in battle.
Well, I mean...
It's not too late. I can distract him, so you have plenty of time to make your escape.
Wait, what?
Doesn't that make sense? I'm the one he's after. There's no need for you to risk your necks on my behalf. A coyote doesn't stop for bypassers while it's howling at the moon. What is it, Loma? The Frost Moon Scions have already grown accustomed to life without their goddess. My presence here is no longer essential, and this is not my home, so you needn't ask me to stay.
We can't just roll over and let him get away with this. That's not our stuff.
Yeah. We can't just call it quits after everything we've been through together. Besides, she'd pretty much saved my life back there. If I just ditched her now, I'd never forgive myself.
We can't overlook that you have saved our lives multiple times now. To talk of returning the favor would be a little crass for my liking. But suffice to say that we are friends, and friends look out for one another.
Rivers' true objective remains unclear. Even if we were to sacrifice Miss Kutar, there's no guarantee he would stop.
But
Kutar, I know why you left the Frost Moon Scions so long ago. They would make self-centered wishes, force you to accept meaningless offerings in return. If it were me, I might have walked away too. But I believe that time can change everything. After much reflection, I've realized that this was never about whether the Frost Moon Scions need you. Any relationship based on need is purely transactional. What I truly hope is that you'll choose to stay. Not you were born here, and now you've returned.
Thank you, Lauma. But my power is on the wane. I'm afraid I will be of little use to you now. Very well then. I'll do as you say.
Both times you saved us, we were transported across great distances in an instant. Is that one of your powers as the Moon Goddess?
It is, but I find it very draining. I barely managed to pull it off just now, and it will be some time before I'm strong enough to do so again. Rejected by the world, my power is dwindling. Like a lake, cut off from its source, slowly shrinking away. Now, it has almost run dry.
What do you mean, rejected by the world?
The 3 moons belonged to the ancient bygone era in which they came into being. From the moment I was born, the world itself has been steadily sapping away at my strength. The 3 moons are not one and the same. As the goddess of the Frost Moon, I cannot wield the powers of the other 2. Yet moonlight has a way of blending together. Each can reflect the other's glow. So when our fingers touched, I was able to restore my strength by drawing Kuvaki from the eternal moon's marrow. But this method of recovery is painfully slow. If only we could find the...
It's the Wild Hunt!
Even faster than we expected.
See how those Wild Hunt creatures are running away from us. They're likely...
Then what are we waiting for?
Branches aside.
Observe. Beware the creatures of the night.
They just keep coming! This is driving me nuts!
The rear's closing in on us. We need to pick up the pace.
There's too many of them! And this time, can't fall back on Kutar's help to escape. This goes on much longer.
Leave this place with one heart and prayer.
Chew on this! Look!
Preparing for dust-up.
Feel the dark.
The cool must last for the everlasting forest.
Flash attack!
Cleanup sequence initiated. Annihilation mode.
Beware the creatures of the night.
By the frost moon of old.
Insulation chamber deployed. Preparing for dust-up.
Kingdom Weather Bomb!
Leave this place.
Ultimatum broadcast.
With one heart and prayer.
A long sleep beckons.
Cleanup sequence initiated. Annihilation mode.
What's the matter? Bit off more than you could chew?
How are you're back from Amsvartnir?
Whoa! You're Varka? Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius?
We could save the intros for later. Right now, let's get you all out of this hellhole. Follow me. I know somewhere you'll be safe.
Oh, is that...
That's the one. Come on, move!
Wow! Where are we? This is...
Well, that goes without saying. This is the Knights of Favonius' meeting place in Nodcry, and a contact hub for the Northern Intelligence Network, aka the Black Market of Intel. No matter what faction you're with, it's the place to buy and sell information. Their headquarters are in Nodcry, but they've got as an expeditionary force on foreign soil. Working with them has offered us the most effective way of getting our hands on reliable local intel. This is where we meet, so naturally, it's secure. Anyway, where were we? Folks from Nodcry should be pretty familiar with me by now. But I believe this is the first time we've met. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Varka, Knight of Boreas, and Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius.
We've heard all about you. This meeting's been a long time coming. You look way younger than Paimon expected. But you definitely have that Grand Master vibe.
Well, I'm no spring chicken. Just not showing my age yet. Definitely feeling some of that back pain today, though. Rushed back from Amsvartnir without a wink of sleep, only to get right into another fight with that freshly revived maniac.
Another? You mean you fought him before?
Yep. He wasn't nearly as strong back then, but he was still a formidable foe. I brought some of the knights along to give him a little surprise, but he saw us coming from a mile off. My squad took heavy injuries, and I barely made it out alive myself. We knew it might have been our last chance, so we staked everything on it. But still, it wasn't enough to stop him. I tried tracking him down afterwards, but he didn't leave a trace. Even in his unhinged mental state, he's as cautious as any trained operative. So, I decided to come find you. And as luck would have it, turned up to find you being ambushed by the Wild Hunt. The rest, you already...
Is that why he's been frantically
Maybe I'm part of the equation, but even if I weren't, I'm sure he'd still be gathering power.
Note to self, Uncle Varka's strength rating officially upgraded.
Guess it's my turn to ask questions now. So, what exactly has been happening in Nodcry?
That's a long story, but I'll try to make it quick.
Wow, I had no idea so much had happened. Sounds like you guys have really been through it. So, the Kutar is actually a Fatui Harbinger. And all this Wild Hunt activity in Nodcry is the work of the Raker of Solnari. That's a lot to take in. Need some time to wrap my head around it all.
I'm truly... You stood with us against the Wild Hunt, and did everything you could to stop it from escalating into a full-blown catastrophe.
You've got nothing to apologize for, Miss Moonchanter. You can plan 100 steps ahead and still slip up. That's just life. And, to be perfectly honest, I can't say I'm surprised. For all the times we've defeated the Wild Hunt in the past, but now that a new variable has come into play...
A new variable?
Who else? And in a strange way, I think his resurgence might not be an entirely bad thing. That said, while I was explaining everything just now, some of the points that Mr. Flint's added caught my attention.
You mean about our mystery ally?
That's right. From what you've said, not only did they lead you straight to some key files, they also shielded Hisi Island from a lethal Kuvaki blast. I don't know who or what could pull something like that off.
I hadn't heard the story about those files. Would you mind repeating their titles for me?
Wild Hunt Phenomena Log, a Nodcryan Ratnik's Field Journal, and Kuvaki Survey Log.
Oh,
Another dead end. Guess all we can do now... Still, it's safest to... Your intel also explains something else I've been wondering about. The reason I led my team to but once we looked into it, it turned out to be a red herring. I don't know. I doubt it's by chance that he happened to make his comeback while my attention was diverted. And from everything you told me, It sounds like his scheming began well before his return. But is it even possible that he orchestrated the Moon Maiden and the Raker of Solnari? Nodcry of all places. The way everything is unfolding, it can't be a coincidence.
So, what do we do now?
Right now, we've got at least 3 things to consider. First, we need to figure out how to take down Rerir. To my knowledge, the bulk of Nodcry's fighting force is already gathered here.
What if there was a way to tap into a new power of our own?
How so?
Have you thought of something, Columbina?
3 moons once watched over this world. The Eternal Moon was the largest. The Frost Moon was the brightest. And the Iridescent Moon was the most mysterious. They say that back then, the 3 moon goddesses wielded immense power. Enough to shape the workings of the world itself. I now bear the Frost Moon's power, and the Eternal Moon's marrow resides within the Traveler.
Hold on. Are you suggesting?
The iridescent moon, the last piece in the puzzle.
That's right. If we can find the Iridescent Moon's marrow, I will be able to regain my strength much more quickly.
The 3 moons are said to stir the tides and illuminate all things.
According to my analysis, the solution is feasible.
I know a way, but we will need to visit the Fatui's Experimental Design Bureau.
The Experimental Design Bureau?
Yes. I must speak with Sandrone.
It's a long way from here to the Experimental Design Bureau. There's a high chance you'll be spotted. You should...
Then that's settled. Next up, as you saw for yourselves, when he was still in his wild hunt form, everything he did was for the sake of recovering his body and resurrecting him. People's obsessions often reveal their greatest vulnerabilities. There must be a reason why he does. The wild hunt has plagued Nodcry for centuries now. If we want to stop it for good,
It's true. If Kuthar hadn't given us that lead, we wouldn't even know his name.
But where would we even start? I doubt even the Intel Queen of Nodcry has a clue. And
Oh? That's a rather hasty conclusion for someone who's so painstakingly meticulous when it comes to dealing with machines.
she heard me.
Boss! What are you doing here?
I'm now asking myself the same question. I received a letter from a humble knight of Favonius, requesting a meeting to discuss a major business deal.
Details! Since his failed ambush, I've been racking my brains trying to come up with a plan to fight Rerir. Given the severity of the situation, I think it's fair to say that our only chance lies in uniting as one. We can't do this without the Curatorium. But I knew it'd be a tough job to win you.
Wait a sec. Didn't you say this is meant to be the Knights of Favonius' meeting spot?
You really think he could have gotten settled in Nodcry without my help? Besides, I'm the one running this gig.
Allow me to introduce the current head of the Northern Intelligence Network.
Please spare me the flattery. Let's cut to the... Well, this certainly qualifies as an unforeseen crisis.
So you're just going to sit this one out?
Why should I get involved?
What if we told you we can't...
Oh? Then I'd say...
I can't put a price on something like this. It's just not in my nature. If you insist on compensation, I will pay you. Consider...
You just don't give up, do you? Too bad. I know you well enough to know you can't afford my prices. The riskier the job, the more it'll cost. And a moon chanter's stipend isn't exactly generous. Unless you're planning to start passing the
Boss, just a thought. Things got really dangerous during the fight with Rerir. If this girl hadn't saved me, I'd be Layla. If there's any way we can make
This is why I'm always telling you you have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all kinds of misfortune. Very well. Yehoda, I will... Flins. That fragment that Rerir was after, do you still have it on you?
Of course.
Let me borrow it.
Wait, you actually have some leads?
Shh. This is...
I get it. We all have things we'd rather keep to ourselves. And that brings me to the third and final item. I'm in for this part.
Count me.
Come off it, you two. I'm way ahead of you here. Enough of it escape once they're ready.
I like it.
No biggie.
All right then. Once your team has finished their mission...
Lady Damselette. Wait, and you two? What are you doing at the Kuvaki experiment? We've been doing our best to mind our own business lately. But if you're just gonna
You really think...
We're not looking for any trouble. I just want to see Sandrone.
Do I need to remind you that you're still out of consideration for our former time?
Let them in.
But...
Are you going to make me...
No.
Sandrone seems to be in a good mood.
So tell me, to what do I owe the... Actually, before you answer that, just so we're clear, we're not colleagues anymore, Columbina.
I promise it's nothing big.
It seems like you've gotten the wrong idea here. The only reason I let you in was because I was bored. It seemed like a way to kill some time and... whatever miscalculations I may or may not have made in the past.
I'd like to speak with Arlecchino.
What?
Huh? You mean the knave?
I'd like to speak with Arlecchino. Is she in Nodcry?
No, she's not. Once the work on this facility was completed, she went back with the Rooster and Regrator. The only ones in Nodcry are me and...
Rerir is hunting me. If I'm going to face him, I must first retrieve the lost moon. Is that a no, then?
As if I need reminding. I was this close to settling things.
Have you held any tea parties lately?
Tea parties? Yeah, obviously. You don't seriously think we'd pack it all in just because you aren't here. If anything, they've been more eventful than ever. Just me, Arlecchino, and a bunch of insolent and sensitive guests who won't stop.
I bet you served them the worst tea you have. Just like you used to do to me when I upset you.
Who cares about how good the tea is when there's no one around to drink it? First Rosaline, now you? I'm running out of people who can make me laugh. Honestly, what could be more ridiculous than the multi-centenarian goddess, who's only ever had the plain herbal tea she received as offerings?
You'd always brew a different type of tea for me each time. Was it really just to see how I'd react?
Well, duh. Why else? Oh, yeah. And Capitano sometimes used to bring Tartaglia around, too. But I guess we won't be seeing him again. Well, I guess we are overdue for a get-together. Polonia, have Febronia pass a message to Arlecchino for me. It's time for tea. Will suffice.
Pass along a message for me, too, if you would. My body cannot contain the marrow of 2 moons, so I'll be leaving one of them in her care.
Excuse me? Who said you were on the guest list? If my tea meant that much to you back when you were under the Tsaritsa's protection, no one would have dared come at you so openly.
But that protection didn't come for free. In fact, I paid dearly for it. At the end of the day, it was just another transaction. I just got tired, that's all. I never wanted any part in their grand ambitions. And I've had enough of being treated like a bottomless supply of power. It brings back memories from the old days, when I was still worshipped as the moon goddess. Centuries on, it may be a different group of people, but I see the same greed in their eyes.
I figured you'd leave eventually. You didn't have as much of a reason to stay as the Tsaritsa gave you shelter and protection, but that was it. Nothing more, nothing less. Meanwhile, the Fatui demanded everything from you in return. I get why you left. And frankly, I have no interest in dragging you back just because the higher-ups told me to. But if you keep hanging around with this riffraff, the next time we cross paths, we might be enemies for real. Guess, that might be your plan. But it sounds like someone else wants you to stay a little longer.
Huh? What do you mean?
Listen.
My lady, it's the Wild Hunt.
Another uninvited guest trying to crash my tea party. Clear the area. I'll handle this.
Wait, what? You want us to leave you here by your...
You'll be lucky to make it out of this alive. Go on, get out of here. You may have stopped Polonia from crushing him last. Stay and watch if you want, but it'll be at your own risk. Don't tell me what to do! Ugh. Stare all you want, Columbina. You're...
I know.
This is exactly why you shouldn't hang around with those people. Come on then, Mr. Ray here. It's your Wild Hunt monstrosities versus my beautiful...
Polonia, get...
I've upgraded Polonia again since our last encounter, and uploaded every last scrap of your data. So let's finish this, once and for...
She's not here. Where did she go?
Hey! Over here, you big...
Curse it. Moon. Go. Keep searching. She cannot have gotten far.
So this is your method for investigating Rarir's past?
Good deduction. But
Whoa! First time I've ever been in here. Boss always said it was off limit. Oh, I guess this must be Sumero decor?
I'm not sure exactly what you've got planned.
whenever we wish. I've never faced Rarir myself. But from what I, on the other hand, am just an ordinary businesswoman. Our paths should never have crossed, yet here I am.
If you ask me, you're about as far from ordinary as it...
Once I take a job, there's no backing out. Still, I have to ask myself if the... And also how to make sure I come out of this alive. Death is the one thing we can take for granted. It is the great equalizer, however fortunate or unfortunate we may otherwise be.
Come on, boss. Lighten up. Quit talking about death.
For once, I agree with you. When you're up against a foe like Rarir, there's no such thing as being too prepared. Is there anything I can do to help?
That won't be necessary. I've already... That shady merch...
Come on, boss. You're pulling my leg. Anyway, I know who you're talking about. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Hey!
What is it? What's the big rush? You dragged me out of a dream where I was literally swimming in Mora. I'm charging double my usual attendance fee. See, look how easygoing she is. After that rude awakening.
Dory Sangama Bay? I never would have pictured you two doing business.
If you want to make it big, and it was back when and when you know it, I've been giving her, plus any other friends you send my way will enjoy 10% off. What can I say? The great Lord Sangama Bay is nothing, if not so.
You guessed correctly.
The one type of gear I've never been short on. What are you looking for? A jetpack fresh from the Academia's lab? At the very least, I need to know—
What if I told you it's someone with the power to bring a nation to its knees?
Is that so? Then we really are—
You're
a powerful woman, make no mistake. I can't reveal her identity, but if you're willing to wait, I can ask her when she's here.
Then, let me put it another way. What would you do if you encountered an enemy like—
Of course not! I have a handy little trinket from one of my generous suppliers, which— Hold on. What exactly are you getting at? No?
Let's just say I'm borrowing it, all right? Favors are the worst kind of debt.
Fine. You can borrow it for 5 days. No, make that 3. And for every extra hour after that, I'm charging you 1,000,000 mora. Deal?
Deal.
What a way to start the day. Now, was there anything else you wanted? Or can I go back to bed now?
That will be all. See
you later!
Excellent. Everything is... After initiating the ceremony, your minds will follow me wherever I go. So remember. Now then, let us peer into the Raker of Solnari's past. I made it. I don't recognize this style of architecture. Must be Conrian. Simple furnishings, table and chairs. Looks like the fearsome Raker of Solnari came from surprisingly humble beginnings. Unless this passed for luxury in Conria. Anyway.
Hi, Revere. Since you're working extra hours tonight, I thought I'd keep myself busy by checking out that new kebab shop. I'll test it out, and if it's as good as everyone's saying, let's go back together sometime. P.S. New stash from the Universitas Magistrorum. I brought some goodies home. A few teacups and a pin rack.
They didn't sign their name.
I went over to Joseph's for drinks today. They have a fine collection, but I went alone. Felindus was tied up with something and couldn't. Joseph asked why I came alone, but I didn't really have an answer. He then went on to ask about other things. But if he invites me again, chances are I'd still go.
Felindus. That's the same...
Crane imports keep falling. If things don't pick up, we'll soon be back to meat and mushrooms only. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that new type of mushroom everyone's been into lately. Didn't it start up? I don't care if it's an impressive feat of alchemy.
Grain has to be imported, and they're eating a diet of mostly meat and that would explain why they use so much stone in their building. They even use alchemically modified strains for food. Seems...
I've just about saved up enough now.
Making a big purchase. He really is a professional. No one, despite what he's become, it seems... Did Rary rip it out himself?
Before I met you, I was convinced that my heart was nothing more than a stagnant pool. The burial place of a fallen moon. It was you who helped me see that my heart hadn't entirely withered away.
This is just trivial sentimentality from the looks of it. The burial place...
Rerir! Dane! Oh, and, Vedaflin here? What a surprise to see you here, sir.
Hello there, Rerir. You need not address me so formally outside of court. He doesn't get that much free time, so I invited him over for a drink.
Well, I'm flattered.
So, what are we discussing today?
Hey.
Come on, don't give us that. Didn't you... I just didn't expect you to be the first one to say...
Yeah. If you told me that a few...
So, are you
Sure, I'll have to tell her at some point. But I'll need to pick...
Come on, stop being such a pessimist. For all you know, she could be thrilled. A member of the King's Guard.
Of course he does.
Me? Same old, nothing much to... What's up, Ved?
It's nothing. Vedaflin, Dainslift's elder brother. Renowned throughout the court of Conria as the... And yet, despite the gulf, but does he even know me? Does he see me as a friend? Why did he react so strongly?
Brown, curly hair and brooding blue. Perfectly normal. As frightening as this monster is in the
Felindis? You're back early?
Our equipment's being serviced today, so I got off earlier than usual. Aw, why the long face? Is something the matter?
Went for a drink with
Isn't that a...
Vedifenir showed up today, too.
Ah, Mr. Vedifenir. Yep.
He overheard Dainsleif mention that I'd recently proposed, and seemed to have an issue.
So, you're worried? We're nobodies. Why? I'm sure someone in his... You worry too much, Revier. We've been together for ages.
So, you do remember?
Like I said, I need some time to decide. You can't just rush into things like...
All right. Nobodies. Can someone whose gaze is so fixed on a far-flung future even see the present clearly? Meanwhile, every idea they come up with and every decision they make, it affects everything. The opposition tried to speak. A man can have 1,000. What becomes of someone who kills on another's behalf? Felindis? It's nothing. You were right. There's no reason we can't keep living happily together.
See? You just need to stay positive, Revier. I can feel your warmth. You're just seeing you makes me happy in a way I can't explain. And that's something that no one could ever take away from me. That's better. Getting caught up about things like this will only ruin our evening.
You go ahead. I just have a few things to take care of, then I'll come join you.
Even busier than the big shots, huh? Fine, I'll go get started. But don't be...
Relax. Seriously, though, you drive a hard bargain.
Well, that goes with... Besides, they're two completely different things.
All right. Why don't...
It seems like Rerir was deliberately hiding his ties to the intelligence services. By giving the... He clearly doesn't want his would-be fiancé to know about his other life. Then... Let's dig a little...
Our last operation was a resounding success, and all thanks to you.
After all these years since the dynasty's fall.
Indeed, it cannot be denied. Yet it was destiny that the Conria has no further need for a dead moon. But alas...
That's not entirely true. Much about the Crimson Moon era was worthy of... Many of its secrets remain
You still haven't told your...
Where would I even... How do you tell someone that you're one of the King's hand-picked executioners?
You didn't choose this life.
But I'll sure as heck be the one to pay. Speaking of which, we need someone, it seems, has strong opinions about my future plans. Most likely my...
Your concerns are not unfounded. They've taken out many of our colleagues these past... Take care, Ray Heroes.
Thanks, Thorkel. Felindis, I never wanted to keep this from you. You're the last person I would ever want to lie, but that's exactly why I can't. The Moonlit Dynasties are a thing of the past. Could that be why? I have to get it clear.
Rerir seems to be Vedifenir and Dainsleif. I've investigated this whole area. Should I try somewhere else?
So, he's late after all.
Are you waiting for someone, ma'am?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. I'm only telling the truth. Look me in the eye. May we have a word in private?
Who are you?
And it doesn't matter who I am. Too many of our kind have fallen not long ago.
The Ray here of Solnari led an assault on one of our strongholds.
Sorry, I don't know.
Wait, hear me out. This time his name is Rarier.
What?
A cruel irony, isn't it?
Why are you
simple.
How strange. Rarier was nowhere to be seen in that memory. Rarier couldn't possibly know what happened. Why would her memories appear? The ceremony won't last much longer.
So that was your doing? Did you just pull us inside Rarier's fragment to spy directly on his memories?
Any more questions?
I had I gotta admit though.
I'm just as curious. Luckily, we met.
So far, so good, especially the group.
If you're worried about.
If I know Bob.
Oh, they've been prowling around for nearly 2 days now. These things just won't quit. Oh, they might not have seen us yet, but them constantly... Oh, that's never gonna work. One little slip, if they spot us, they'll run straight back to Rarier. And once he knows we're here... Oh, guess you're right. Oh, they might not have seen us. Oh, that's never... If they spot us, they'll run Oh. Quick, hide! We almost got spotted! Phew! That was a close call. Watch out! He's coming this way! Keep going. We're nearly there. This is the final hurdle. Oh, there's no end to these things!
Fire.
Fire? Wait, what's that smell? Oh no! There's a fire!
Sandrone was right. You look weak, Columbina. The old you would never have let such lowly creatures bar your way. Word has it that you did something for the Tsaritsa, and that's why you've lost most of your power. Freedom comes at a heavy price, doesn't it?
It's Arlecchino! You came!
Hello again, Columbina. And greetings, guests of the House of the Hearth.
It's been a while, Arlecchino.
stupid right here of stupid Solnari. Ugh, whatever. I've got all the data I need. Next time we meet, you're finished. He sure doesn't pull his punches.
Excuse me, do you need a hand?
You can do me a favor by staying out of my way. Wait a minute.
Hello, Miss Sandrone. Father sent us over to help.
How considerate of her. Hey, Fremine, get over here and help me fix this. Lenny, you do your thing. Just keep your sister away from my machines. Nearly every machine that Catgirl touches ends up going haywire.
Then you've got it.
Wait a second. Pretty sure there's still some tea in the cupboard. If you want some, you'll have to make it yourselves.
It's a relief to see you all made it back in one piece.
Huh? Feels like there's quite a few people missing. Where's Flint's and the others? And what about Nefer?
I returned ahead of them. Flint is helping Aino and Anefa to set up the decoys and buy us some time. As for Miss Nefer...
Boss is still wrapping things up on her end. She sent us back to fill you all in on the top secret intel we've been gathering.
I see. Then let's get right into it. But first, who do we have here? You brought someone else in to help?
Greetings. I was invited here to help as a longtime Tea Party companion of Columbina's. You may call me Arlecchino.
Surely it can't be.
Those eyes. Oh, where have I seen them before? Wait, of course. In those memories we just saw.
The only Arlecchino I know is the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers. So either you share a pretty uncommon name, or you're more than just a Tea Party buddy.
You're well informed, Grandmaster. A man from Mondstadt living all the way out here in Nodcry, and yet the people and affairs of Snezhnaya seem to hold a special place in your heart.
Oh, the feeling's mutual. Sounds like you know all about who I am, too.
A Fatui Harbinger.
The atmosphere in here just got really tense. Guess we can't just start trusting Fatui Harbingers, even at a time like this.
I must admit, though, I'm a little curious. Seeing as the Moon Goddess no longer belongs to the Fatui, what makes you so willing to put your neck on the line here?
Nor does Nodcry belong to Mondstadt, Mr. Varka. Yet still, you're fighting for it all the same. Things don't always have to have a tangible payoff. Sometimes, stopping things from spiraling out of control is a higher priority than chasing the spoils of victory. Of course, I can't say there's nothing in it for me at all. But that's between Columbina and myself.
Forgive me. I don't mean to doubt you. It's just that the Fatui really have been the source of many of our troubles. We have our own way of doing things here in Nodcry. But ever since they arrived, the Fatui have treated us with nothing but hostility.
I know there's been a lot of bad blood between us in the past. I've done my utmost to avoid friction whenever I could. But sometimes fundamental conflicts of interest simply can't be settled amicably. That's why I'm here solely in a personal capacity. This has nothing to do with the Fatui. As a gesture of good faith, I'll be frank. I can help Columbina track down the iridescent moon's marrow, which will help her restore more of her power. Anyway, what else is on the agenda? Let's begin.
She says she'll be frank, then completely skips over the details. Looks like she doesn't want to give away too many secrets after all, but she clearly wants to change the subject. It'd be awkward if I tried to bring it up again now. I guess we'll just have to go along with it. She's the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers after all. One look and you can tell she's not someone you'd want to mess with.
Well, since Miss Arlecchino sounds confident in her ability to handle that, we'll proceed to the next topic. Yehoda, time to share that top-secret intel.
All right, listen up, everyone. First, we now know that Rerir was originally a Conrian secret agent whose primary mission was to hunt down and assassinate the so-called Dregs of the Crimson Moon.
The Dregs of the Crimson Moon?
In the memories, there was a lot of talk about the Crimson Moon and Eclipse, and a whole bunch of other stuff from the time of Conria.
To my knowledge, those were the names of two different Conrian dynasties. Long, long ago, it is said that the people of Conria worshipped the Crimson Moon, drawing a mysterious power from its reflection. But one day, a coup saw the Crimson Moon eclipsed, hence the name of the new dynasty that replaced it, and how it became the new emblem of Conria.
Still, long after the Crimson Moon dynasty had fallen, the last ruler of the Eclipse dynasty, the Vinster king, still coveted the secrets it left behind. So, he sent the Rehir of Solnari to secretly hunt down the Crimson Moon's few remaining followers. In those days, Rerir showed no signs of madness. In fact, he was as normal as any other person. What's the matter?
Verfnir, Rheindaughter, Flinders.
Interesting. Anything else? What about this would-be fiancé of his?
Well, she was a researcher at the Universitas Magistrorum, but it felt like she was hiding some kind of secret.
Oh, and one more thing. For some reason,
Well, no shortage of potential leads, I'll give you that. In any case, it sounds like we can conclude the Lindis, it seems, must have been the one thing in this world that he couldn't let go of. Tell me, though, were these pure-blood Conorians we're talking about here?
Why do you need to know that? Hold on. If she was a pure... Oh yeah! Just like how...
If we could somehow find her, do you think there's any chance Rerir might regain some of his sanity?
It's possible, but it would take a miracle. We can't pin all our hopes on that. That merchant who never knows, Dori Sangama...
All right, then. Traveler, Paimon, Kutar, and Miss Arlecchino will go look for the iridescent moon's marrow. As for the others...
On the way over here, I noticed that the Wild Hunt monster... At this rate, the people living here will be in...
I'll head back to the Cure...
Feels good knowing we've all got... Given that the Wild Hunt has been a lot more active lately, the Lightkeepers have likely I'll hold the fort for now. Then discuss our next move with Flints, Aino, and Anefa when they get back.
All right, then.
Well, the clock's ticking. If that's everything, we'll be on our way.
We'd better get moving too. We'll try to buy you as much time as we can.
Relax. Just do your thing. Not stay safe, everyone.
We're back. Did we...
A tad late. The others have already set off. To summarize, our resident, everything going smoothly on your end?
Not great. I don't know how long we can stall them for. I'm gonna make some more later, but I need a timeout first. I'm so tired right now. Oh, right! Inefa, could you fill in Uncle Varka on what we just discussed with Flints?
Sure. Uncle Varka, you previously told us about how when you went to investigate a source of the Wild Hunt in Amsvartnir, you discovered that it was just a diversion. But according to Flints's intel, several outbreaks of the Wild Hunt had already occurred in Nodcry in the period leading up to that. That was before Rerir had regained his body, when he was far from regaining his full strength. In other words, in theory at least, he's...
Flints, with everything that's been happening, the Lightkeepers... I know, I'm sure you're capable of coming up with something far more effective. And Effa and I will head back over to Amsvartnir to see if there's any...
I told you, Uncle Vark!
Database updated.
What is... it's the obvious
We already decided that Anefa should go investigate the situation over at AMS. Someone needs to hang back and oversee our strategy meetings. And besides...
So I've ended up with the easiest assignment.
Here, this will serve as a good spot to cross over.
Arlecchino, hold up a second. Since you brought us all this way, would you mind telling us what you've got planned? We still haven't got the slightest idea what's going on here. And if even Columbina doesn't know where the iridescent moon's marrow is, how do you?
Simple. Because I am an inheritor of the royal bloodline of the Crimson Moon, and one of the last surviving embers of the Two Worlds' flames.
Huh? Are you serious? As in, you're a descendant of that Crimson Moon dynasty we were just talking about? The one from ancient Conria?
Your surprise is understandable. I was also taken aback when I first learned of it. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the signs had been there all along. When I was young, I discovered I could wield a very special kind of fire. It coursed like blood through my veins and smoldered away inside my nerves. What's more, whenever I experienced strong bursts of emotion or drew too deeply on this power, it was like some kind of presence within the fire would begin to gnaw away at me, consuming me from the inside out. Exactly. That is why my hands are like this, too. At first, I saw it only as a curse, but once I became a harbinger, the Jester apprised me of the truth. Together with my own investigations, over the past few years, there are several things that I have gradually come to understand. For instance, take the so-called Crimson Moon. In truth, it is nothing more than the shattered remnants of the iridescent moon, fused with the Abyss to prolong its lifespan. Since this blood flame was bestowed upon me by the Crimson Moon, it is a fusion of the iridescent moon's former power and the corruption of the Abyss. You all understand the nature of the Abyss well enough. I draw upon its power, and in return, it hungers for my soul. This strange blackness is the mark of corruption it has left behind.
If I recall correctly, you once told me that if the corruption ever made it to your heart, you'd become a completely different person.
Yes, and that's the reason I'm always careful not to push my power too far. It's essentially a never-ending tug-of-war.
Oh, sounds intense.
Anyway, the rest of my story can wait. Is there anything else about the Crimson Moon or the Iridescent Moon that you're unclear about?
Paimon has a question. So, the Crimson Moon that the Carians used to worship was actually the Iridescent Moon, right? Which was one of the three Moon Sisters. Does that mean that the Carians were to the Crimson Moon as the Frost Moon Scions are to the Frost Moon?
So much of that history has been lost. We have no way of knowing exactly what they were like. But I would suspect that the Conrians weren't as devout in their moon worship as it might appear. The iridescent moon's remains simply served as their link to the Abyss. Later on, perhaps someone discovered a way to make direct contact with the Abyss. Or maybe there was some kind of ideological divide. Either way, a dissenting faction staged a coup and drove out the royal heirs of the Crimson Moon dynasty. Still, even with the dark sun looming high overhead, the Crimson Moon's glow never truly faded. If you want living proof, it's standing right before you.
The first time we met, I sensed something familiar in your presence. When I looked at you, I felt I could see that mysterious red moon in the corner of my eye. In your flames, I saw its broken image, surrounded by a strange black aura.
Well, I appreciate that you kept it to yourself. Much about the Crimson Moon is still a mystery, and I'd prefer not to end up as the object of an insane research project. Anyway, time is against us here, so if there's any other questions, they'll have to wait. I just want to make sure I've got one thing straight. In her letter, Sandrone mentioned that since you are unable to contain the iridescent moon's marrow yourself, you intend to leave it in my custody. Correct?
That's right. For now, it's the only way I can pay you back for your help. The iridescent moon is already part of who you are. So with its marrow in your possession, you'll be even more powerful than before.
Deal. Then let's get started.
Get what started? What does this place have to do with the Crimson Moon?
When I first became a Harbinger, the Jester gave me a book called Paranhari, also known as Leobranto Innamorato. You should be able to buy a copy next time you're in Fontaine. It's a love story set in the Crimson Moon era, but setting aside the tangled romances of its characters, it also records a few interesting details. In the Crimson Moon era, or so the story goes, there was an orphanage that received children from beyond the bounds of this world, and subjected them to a peculiar induction ceremony.
Beyond the bounds of this world? For real? And what kind of induction ceremony?
The Crimson Moon sages looked beyond this world for beings with powers that surpassed the gods. But fearing they might lose control, they subjected these children to a process of refinement. They made these children crawl up a fireplace and kept asking them, "Have you died? Did you see it?" Until they finally admitted to having died and seen a crimson moon. The adults embraced the children who passed the ritual, telling them, "Within the fireplace, you have traversed the flames between two worlds. Here and now, you are born anew." The book leaves much unsaid, but I suspect that this was their way of branding the children they had enrolled, leaving an indelible mark upon them so that they would forever live in the Crimson Moon's light.
That explains why I can't sense the Crimson Moon's marrow in this world. It makes sense that it would be sealed in a special space that can only be accessed temporarily through some kind of ritual.
But there's no fireplace here. Do you see a chimney anywhere?
That won't be necessary. The fireplace is purely symbolic. The key to the ritual is crossing the flames between two worlds. In other words, the flames that burn within me. Those burned away by such flames leave behind a kind of ghostly afterimage in the world. In the days of Conria, people believed they could be used to bridge the gap between the two worlds of life and death. In short, I can open a passage to that space for you. That's the easy part. The catch is I'll need to stay on this side to keep the passage open, so I won't be able to come with you. Once you're inside, you'll have to find your own way. Very well. Then I'll open it up.
Traveler, spare me a little more moonlight if you would. I may need it. Thank you. I feel like I've recovered some of my strength now. It should be enough to move us across short distances and confront whatever dangers might await.
Mistress of the seven hues of ages past, great mother of the present, crimson-clad sovereign of the two realms, by fire severed, by fire renewed, I offer myself now and beseech your descent. One word of advice. As you're crossing over, no matter what voices you hear, do not answer.
Got it!
I sense a sinister gloom inside, but also the familiar light of the moon. I feel that I am about to meet an old friend who has changed beyond all recognition. All right, let's go.
Seismic changes often begin with small windows of opportunity.
Is that the abyss? It's practically filled the entire place.
What a tragic sight. Fragments of your broken body, seized by the abyss, and hung up aloft like mummified remains. Iridescent moon. Was this truly what you wished for?
Careful! There's something spooky about this place. Paimon's right behind you. By the way, Columbina, didn't you tell us that the iridescent moon had shattered into pieces? The moon up there looks pretty whole to Paimon. How is that possible?
Laid back into the wind.
Just like I thought. It was only a facade.
Overruled. One with nature. Quietly now. Busted.
Huh? Huh? For real? That's way too high!
like a device from the time of Kalia. Maybe people once came here to study the Crimson Moon's domain, and they left this behind. Oh, if we could activate it, we might find some clues. Hey, look at that! Now that... Do you think these mechanisms might...
Thelindis, we'll leave the rest of the research in your hands. We'll be heading back now.
I hope this isn't ruining date night. Ugh. Mind your own business. Just leave me some snacks on the table.
Thelindis? Is that Rear's girlfriend? Oh yeah! So...
The Abyss has made this space extremely unstable. Maybe that's why some of the things she said and did were preserved here. Like echoes. Or after images.
Whenever I see this view, it takes me back to a poem from my childhood. Waning moon, oh lifeless damsel, weeping on the mountain crest. Mourning still in wistful tone, her fragile soul now laid. For me, of all people, to be here investigating the mysteries of the Crimson Moon space.
Into the wind.
Oh, looks like the Abyss has messed up this mechanism. We need to find a way to get it working again. Let's see if there are any other devices nearby.
The wind knows me.
Quietly now.
So the moon marrow, or rather the power of the 3 moons, is the key to unlocking... If it really does exist, then maybe this madness can finally be put to an end. Take it easy. With the Abyss inhibitors in place, I should be able to access the chamber with the moon marrow. Oh, Rerir, with every step you take, you're drifting further from what you truly desire. But you're not the root of the problem. Ever since that outsider set foot in Conria, the Vinster King has sunken deeper into madness. If only I could get my hands on that outsider.
moon's reflection is back to normal. Elindis' voice mentioned a chamber with the moon marrow. Do you think maybe it's hidden in the moon's
It must be.
And there's no time to lose! These things are so creepy! Looks like we'll have to destroy them if we want to get to the iridescent moon's marrow! That must be the iridescent moon's marrow! Oh, but we'll need to destroy these things before we can reach it!
Into the wind. Busted. Gotcha.
We're so close!
Overruled. Game's up. Fun's over. Everlasting as the moon. Laid bare.
The iridescent moon's marrow. Still burning away like an undying flame, yet now contaminated by the abyss. If we can purify the abyssal power within, we should be able to obtain its untainted essence. It's so cold. Is it you? Are you here?
Huh? Are you talking to us?
At long last, I can see you once more. Our fates have crossed, and I am fine. I'm sorry. I lied to you. Even knowing what was to come, I still couldn't let go of the fear in my heart. The moment the moon shattered, my body began to split apart piece by piece. Like I was being cut into pieces by 1,000 blunt blades. Tell me, what was it that brought you to us all that time ago? You look so puzzled. But trust me when I say that everything happens for a reason.
What was that all about? It sounded like she was speaking to a long-lost friend. But none of us have ever met her before.
Perhaps. She took me for the goddess of the frost moon she once knew. For a fading soul like hers, our auras must be too similar to tell apart.
But anyway, we've got the iridescent moon's marrow. All right. That's odd. This place looks different than when we came in.
Waning moon, oh lifeless damsel.
Oh. Hurry! The place is collapsing!
It wants to trap us here.
Who's it? The Abyss?
Now we've taken the moon marrow. All that's left here is a dark will. It will show us no mercy.
Give it back! The Crimson Moons! My marrow! My heart! Finally! Huh? Oh no! The exit's blocked! They're back! Now what do we do?
This is where you fall. Witness my rise. What are you waiting for?
Is that you, Arlecchino? Did you save us? Wait, your hands! They're...
Oh, this? Don't worry. It's a small price to pay. The Abyss wanted to trap you inside, and I defied its will by bringing you out. No wonder it's a little angry. No. I have paid the price, albeit a small one, and it cannot be undone. My hands have already fused with the Abyss. Purification would simply destroy whatever's left of them.
But surely... Oh... We're so sorry, Arlecchino.
As much as I'd like to call it a favor, the truth is I was simply holding up my end of the deal. Well, Columbina.
Yes, you did your part. And as promised, I will leave the iridescent moon's marrow in your care. From this day forth, may the two worlds' flames burn ever more brightly.
I'll take that as a blessing. Now, Columbina, give me your hand. Accept this moonlight I offer in return. Feeling stronger?
Hey, Columbina, are you okay?
I'm fine. Our powers are a little at odds, that's all.
By the Frost Moon's authority alone, wielding the power of the other moons was always going to be a stretch. Still, I think it's fair to say that your strength has returned, at least to the level it was at as Third Harbinger.
It's still not enough. There's no way I can hope to challenge Rayrier like this. Just one more ray of moonlight, if you would. It's okay. I can take it.
How about now? Fighting fit?
At the very least, I won't have to stay hidden like before. I want to see him gone from Nodcry. The Ray here of Solnari and his wild hunt must be sent back where they belong.
Well, it's good to have something to aim for. You certainly seem more alive now than you did earlier. When I first met you, you didn't strike me as a ray of moonlight. More like a wisp of fog drifting in from who knows where, ready to scatter at the first sign of a breeze. But now, you're full of vitality. Just like the Frost Moon, once the brightest of them all. May you keep shining, Columbina. This is who you are.
Thank you. Look after yourself too, Arlecchino. I know you have plans of your own, and that's why you're always seeking to grow stronger. But whatever you're after, don't let the Abyss take a hold of you. I do not wish to see you go down the same path as Rayrier.
I appreciate the concern, Columbina. Although perhaps it's time you took a new name.
A new name?
Kutar, the Moon Maiden, Columbina. They're nothing more than code names. They describe who she is and the roles she's played, but they're not her real name. We often use code names in the House of the Hearth, too. But it's knowing your real name that keeps you grounded. Up till now, you've been living a wandering life, so you've probably never really cared. All I'll say is this. Once you've defeated Rayrier, give it some thought. All right, that's it from me. I'll get you back safely first, then go meet up with Sandrone.
You're the best!
I appreciate the gesture. It speaks to your good character. Anyway, let's get going. There are more urgent things to do right now than trade compliments.
restored Columbina's strength, and that's all that matters. In other words, mission accomplished. Paimon wonders how everyone else is doing.